Brothers and sisters, if we weren't squirming a bit when we listened to the gospel, then I'm not certain we were listening very well. Jesus does not sugarcoat our message today. He says plainly, "Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple." Cannot. He doesn't say is not a good disciple or won't be a good disciple. He says cannot be my disciple. And then he adds two examples. And after the two examples, he says, in the same way, any one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. Again, cannot. Jesus is not asking us for half measures. He's telling us plainly, discipleship costs. Jesus isn't trying to scare us away, but he's inviting us into the only life that can truly satisfy. We must begin, therefore, with the sentiment that Jesus knows better than we know ourselves. He knows that if we cling too tightly to the things of this world, they will weigh us down. Our money, our possessions, our status. They cannot fill the deepest desires of our heart. Only God can do that. That's why in the Book of Wisdom today, it points us towards intentional living. It reminds us how easily our earthly concerns can distract us. It says, "The corruptible body burdens the soul." The corruptible body is us. "And the earthen shelter weighs down the mind that has many concerns." If that doesn't make sense, does this sound familiar? Am I getting too fat? Doctor, did you say I have cancer? How can we afford that tuition for college? More home repairs? We can't afford a pool. It can all feel overwhelming, can't it? Worrying about our life's concerns. Yet God just doesn't leave us there. He says later in the passage that God has sent his Spirit from on high to make straight the paths of those on earth. Let me share a short story with you. A wealthy man once died, and to everyone's surprise, left behind a very unusual will. The instructions said this: before the estate can be divided, the family had to conduct an auction of all his possessions, paintings, antiques, even his home. Among the items was an old, worn photograph of the man's son who had died years earlier. No one wanted the picture. They were waiting for all the other items. The bidding opened, and the room was silent. Finally, a neighbor who had known the boy growing up raised his hand and offered him a few bucks. The auctioneer struck the gavel quickly. Sold. Suddenly, the wealthy man's lawyer stood and read the next clause of the will. Whoever takes my son takes everything else. The auction is over. The entire estate was now in the hands of the man who purchased the old, worn photo. The auction closed, and everyone was instructed to leave. That's our gospel today in a nutshell. If we take the Son of God, if we make Jesus our first priority, then we left with everything. As we begin our annual stewardship renewal, we are called to be pilgrims of hope, disciples of Jesus Christ. In the coming days, you will receive a packet in the mail with resources to guide your reflections and a commitment card. This isn't simply a parish project, it's a spiritual exercise. It's our opportunity to pause and to ask, how is God calling me right now to live out my discipleship? Next weekend, Lisa and Phil Rosenfeld will share their stewardship story with you. And on Commitment Sunday, September 20th and 21st, all of us together will bring our commitment cards forward at Mass. It's not about numbers. It's about saying with our lives, Lord, I choose you to be first in my life. I will carry my cross as you carried yours. Because in the end, whoever takes the Son takes everything and has eternal life.